Okay guys, just thought I'd do another wee update on the current progress for the wee 650 engine 550 build that I'm doing. I haven't had too much time on it the last wee while, so I'll just give you a run through here as you can see in the camera of what I've got done so far. Not a whole lot, but at least it's a bit, you know. So yes, here we go. I'll start off over here. I have the monoshock that I've shown previously for the monoshock conversion. It's been stripped apart and checked over, which was all good. I will replace the outer bushings as one is a bit dozed, so it's something to get done at some point. As you can see yourself there, the spring was previously yellow. I've had shot blasted and powder coated black. Other than that there's nothing new about that. Then you've seen this last time, it was the modified GL1000 fork clamps, the triple tree clamps. So again, nothing's really changed there. I've taped it up there just to try and not get it marked when I was pressing on the new roller bearing at the bottom there. So next I'll show you this as the front hub. Again, it has just been shot blasted and powder coated gloss black, as you can see there. I also then put it in the lathe and machined out the fins that are originally running here. Not for any particular reason other than just because I could, and I thought it looked nice to smooth it out. New bearings, shafts being shot blasted inside as well, and given a coat of primer just to keep the rust off it. And sorry, a new retainer ring put on there. Next I'll show you is this, the starter cover for the starter motor there. And you can see yourself there, the finish is not great. Unfortunately, this was quite rusty whenever I took it to get shot blasted, and I was worried that I would end up with a finish like this. You can see the inside there actually looks okay, but of course the rust did a fair bit of damage on the outside. So this has been powder coated with a new chrome powder coat that the company I use has got in stock now. It's meant to be a lot better for, well, basically staying a nice shiny chrome finish like that. It's obviously not a proper chrome, it's just a powder coat form of chrome. I personally prefer it anyway. I'm not a lover of chrome. I just like this sort of look, and it's a bit more industrial looking. But unfortunately I'll probably try and pick up a new one of these and see if I can get one with less rust and have it done, just to see if I can get a better finish than that. It's just too rough looking, you know. But anyway, it'll do for the meantime. I'll show you this as well. Nothing too exciting, but it's a new cam chain for the 650 engine, which I've now stripped. Had a bit of a look at. Thankfully it does look to be a good solid engine. Haven't found any damage yet, which is great. So it should be a perfect engine to rebuild. So yeah, I'll talk about a bit more about it in another video once I get a bit more work done with the engine. Got the foot pegs, or the brackets for the foot pegs. Again, standard, just shot blasted and powder coated gloss black. They've been modified ever so slightly to take Hayabusa pegs. Moving on from there, these both bits have been shot blasted and powder coated. Obviously the face there being gloss black, and the back plate, or the sort of main body of the plate, sorry, has also been powder coated in the chrome. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the chrome whether I like it or not. I'll maybe see once it's on the bike, and if I'm not happy with it, I can always just have it redone. So yeah, there you go. These bits here, you can see the bottoms there for the forks. The fork bottoms themselves and the rims were all shot blasted and put into etch primer. I then had them painted by my painter, so they've been professionally painted, just because it's a lot easier to polish out marks on a wet paint finish than it is on powder coat, I've found. So that would be my advice on any bigger parts there that you maybe, you know, are more likely to get scratches or marks on. In my opinion, it's better to go with a painted finish, as it's more workable to repair. So that's my experience anyway, but everybody has their own opinion on it. Again, nothing too exciting to tell you about the rims. As I say, they're just gloss black. I don't know if you can see there, but they are a nice good shiny gloss black. These fork bottoms have been modified. They were shot blasted, and then originally these would have had two alloy mounting tabs either side here, pre-formed into the body. They were for mounting the mudguard. I'm not running a mudguard, just a fork brace, so I removed them. I basically just smoothed them off completely, and then where the the threaded shaft ran into the main body of this, I had it welded up and then re-smoothed that off, and then the painter finessed it more from there and obviously painted so it looks as if they'd never had them originally. So yeah, it came out good. Moving on from there, there's that side plate you've seen previously. Still has obviously the random hole pattern and the fins removed here. As I say, that was just shot blasted, put into etch primer. It was done at a later stage, which is why it hasn't been painted yet, but I do have other bits to get done, so it'll just go with them. Then I have these. My grips came from America. Really nice grip. I think they look real smart. They are like a chocolatey mud brown colour, which is part of the main colour of the bike. I've tried to go with a bit more of an old sort of nostalgic look with vintagey cream and this sort of chocolate mud ground sort of pattern. That's what I'm going with. So from there you have these, the caliper carriers, the Speedo drive, wee chain guard there, 2 halves of the calipers, and the wee brake stay bar. Again, these were all painted by myself. They're all shot blasted with glass and put into etch primer. And then I have just gloss blacked and lacquered them all. So yeah, pretty happy with the finish. These smaller bits I'm happy to do myself because it's just not worth paying someone, in my opinion, to do them whenever I know they would get a better finish than me. But for what it is, you'll pretty much never see it. The finish is definitely more than good enough for what it is. So yeah, happy with that. Moving on from there, this is something I would highly recommend getting done. This is the first time I've had it done. All these parts have been zinc plated. I took them all to him just in their raw form, which was obviously just rusty, corroded and so on, and still grease, dirt, the works on it. He just said, just bring them to me, that's the way I like it. I don't want them shot blast or anything beforehand. So you can see yourself there, the parts came out fantastic. There's all bolts and everything there, they're all rusted and everything else. All look like new. This is a good one to show. This was again red with rust before. It looked very, very rough. To give you an idea of what this originally looked like, here's it beside another one I have, a spare one. So just gives you an idea of what can be done. This was no better than that one there. So these are all other parts I will have done. Again, it's so cheap, it's £20 for a bucket load of parts. So it's well worth getting done, I think. Obviously all the other bits and pieces there are done. Come out fantastic. You know, it's a great wee process. Okay. Sorry. Moving on from there, I have this, the top 333 clamp. As you can see now, it has been modified to take the Speedo. This is the Speedo off my 550. It's a generic 60mm face one. You'll see them on eBay here, there, everywhere. They're dead cheap, but they're simple enough. They're just exactly what I want for the bike. You know, I don't need anything else. I have, well, to this, I have taken out quite a section of alloy here so that I could drop this face, or this sleeve, and as tight to the handlebars as possible, so there's only a couple of mil clearance between it and the handlebars, which is exactly what I wanted. I made it up in the lathe out of alloy and then had it welded in place, as you can see. It's now just been put into etch primer and it will be going to the painter with other parts to get painted. So yeah, came out real nice. Really happy with it. The wee grub screw will go in there, just lock the Speedo in place, and just to give you an idea of how it will sit, there's the idea there. I think it looks pretty good. As I say, from the back then, it also is deep enough there that it'll hide all the connections so you don't see them all hanging out, which is what I wanted, just to try and make it a bit cleaner looking. Again, trying to minimalise everything, which is just sort of always my aim. It's small details that I personally find make a difference, just in making that bike look a bit better. Okay, the swing arm here, as you can see, has been shot blasted. I have since then modified it again. I've added this. I just think aesthetically it's more pleasing to the eye. It just flows a bit better and looks a bit less rudimentary. You know, I'm by no means a professional, so I tried to do this as neat and as nice as I can. But I bought myself one of those small electric files, so I can dress up the welds and everything from there. And the only other thing I've done to this is added the swing arm bushes there, those phosphorus bronze one I got from Germany. Again, fitted absolutely perfect, good job. So yeah, nothing else to say about that. Moving on from there, this would be good, bit of advice for anybody wanting to do any powder coating. This is obviously the rear hub. Again, it's got all new bearings and the shaft and everything else shot blasted and put into primer to keep the rust away and all rebuilt back up. But what I found when I put it all back together is this brake hub, or sorry, this brake drum, or brake plate, sorry, I get the wording right. It's hard to maybe see in the video here, but obviously there's a clearance between the brake plate and the hub. From factory, these were both polished as far as I'm aware. which means the tolerance and basically the spacing between these two would have been quite tight, as that's all it needed to be. But once you add powder to this and powder to that, you're basically filling that void. And what I found was that this was binding in place, it wouldn't turn. So over time it probably would have rubbed it away, but that's not the right thing to do in my opinion. So as you can see, I've attacked this and left the hub. As you see there, I've machined, sorry, not machined, that's a lie, I have filed quite substantially the whole outer ring there. I've taken a substantial, not a substantial amount, but a few mil, enough to give me the clearance I need. It's maybe hard to see in the video, but there's a nice bit of clearance now between the two, and hopefully once that's repowdered, that'll leave adequate space for that to turn freely. Don't think there's much else. Yes, again, nothing too exciting, but I made brackets for mounting the coils, as I didn't have any previous. Whenever I got the bike, there wasn't the standard ones, and the original coils were scrap anyway. So these are, maybe me being a cheapskate, but these are brand new ones for a CB900, which you can get for about half the price of the standard ones for a CB550. Don't know why, but I've heard of many of people using these instead. They work perfectly fine, do the exact same job. So I bought them instead. There's no performance upgrade over them or anything. They just are basically cheaper to buy. And the only difference is that I don't think the original mounting brackets work, which didn't bother me as I didn't have any. So I made up these two mounting tabs to mount them, and I've had them fitted. So yeah, good job. Other than that, I think that's everything for the minute. As I say, I'll try and do another video at a later stage whenever I've a bit more done to the frame, so I can show you guys what I've got done next. I know there's some people interested to know a bit more about the monoshock conversion, and I'll try and go into a bit more detail on that at a later date. The only other thing I'll show you here is this is the seat, which has been done. Not that it's a good thing, because the fit and finish of it's terrible. That's all I really want to say about it. It's nothing like what I wanted, so that's getting ripped back off, and I'm going to the guy that originally done my last seat for the bike. For the for the 550, he just did a far better job. He's a lot more expensive, but the quality's far better. So yeah, that's it guys. I'll try and get another video done soon. Thanks, bye.